So now it's pretty much just second nature for me to ask if I can sit in the front seat of the plane when I go. And this right here is when I get most excited because I know I have a whole, I don't know, days or weeks, however long I'm going to stay in front of me. And I am just always so excited when our wheels touch down at the San Pedro Airport. And this was September 21st, and that is their Independence Day. This is their carnival. So this is me. I was sitting on my porch watching this, watching all of this. It was really great until somebody said it went on for 6 hours, and I was like, oh no, 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 no. So anyway, that was fun. So this is an interesting story. When I first got the cart, they were like, always put your lock on the car, on your cart. Always lock the wheel up because the keys are universal. So any key can start any cart. The only deterrent, the only differentiator is putting that club thing on the the cart. So, I get lazy, go into the store, and I'm like, oh, I can see the cart right there. I'll just, I won't put my lock on, right? So what happens is somebody else was thinking exactly the way I was, and I come back with all my groceries and all my stuff. His cart was right next to my cart, and I just hopped in his cart and took off. So I get back here and I'm like, wait, how come my stuff is not working? How come my key is not fitting? Where's my club? What's happening? And then I realized, oh my God, this is somebody else's cart. So I go running back to the place and I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm barreling back to the store. Okay, barreling. It's a cart. It was probably 15 miles an hour at best. And so I'm going back to the store, and as I'm going, somebody cuts me off and is like, "Hey, stop!" It was the person whose car I took. They were coming to my house because they know exactly where I live because the island is 30 miles by 1 mile. It's 27 square miles. So they knew exactly who I was and exactly where I lived. So they were heading to back to my place. So I'm like, okay, come on, get in. I'll drive you back to the store and we'll, figure it out. So driving back to the store and I'm apologizing profusely. I'm like, I don't have any cash on me. I don't have anything. I'm so sorry. Let me just give you something for your trouble. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's like, no, no, no. I was like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's like, no, just let it go and just forget it. So I kept kind of begging him. And then finally he says, hey, I don't want to take your money in front of my daughter because I don't want her to think that doing good and being good and having grace and being a good person is a transaction that she should expect money or anything in return. And it just made me think how we just throw money at everything. We throw money at everything, right? And the currency is community. Their currency is relationships. And so it's more important for them to leave a person feeling good and feeling okay than money and all of that stuff. So it was really a lesson about what we value. What do we really value? And yeah, that was really interesting because I get there and he said, listen, don't be coming here throwing money at everything. I'm speaking in my own language and words. He was very gracious, but he's like, we don't come here thinking, oh, when something happens, you can like money your way out of it. No, the important thing is to be good, to stop, to apologize, to say you're sorry, right? And to be a good person. And so everything feels here is just so different. It feels, um, it's just more communal, right? And I know that the way our country is moving, relationships are going to be the new currency. I know that. Relationships are going to be the new currency. And actually, part of our problem is that because we're so prideful and so we have so much pride in doing it by ourselves and, I pull myself up and I'm a self-made person and all there's pride in that. And that's not a point of pride here. They probably pity somebody who just roams the earth alone, and I'm an introvert. I love roaming alone. So, but it made me think about, since I've been here, like how important community is. So, day before yesterday, the entire country of Belize had no power. I'm going to say it again. The entire country. Now, the island had no power, the mainland had no power, Belize as a country had no power. And in that moment, I'm like, oh my God, terrorists, cyber attack, all these things. And, I run out of the house thinking there's going to be people holding their babies, running down the street with their hair acting all. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. People were still outside working. They were still at the beach playing dominoes. Nothing changed. Because, and I've heard this a million times since I've been here, why do you worry about something you can't change? I can't go, and what the guy says, I can't go to Mexico and flip the switch back on. This is what it is. So don't trouble your heart. Do something. Go do something. And so I just kind of, this is what I was doing. I was kind of like walking around, and it started getting cool. So it was just, or cooler. And everything is about the here and now. Everything is about right here and right now. And there's so much freedom in that, because I've learned since I've been here, I am obsessed with control. I got to control this outcome. I got to control this behavior. I got to control the people at work. I got to control this divorce proceedings and what's going to happen. I got to control. And all that need for control just comes from a place of desperation and fear that nothing's going to go your way, fear that you're going to lose, fear that you're going to lose out. That desperation and that just sense of heaviness that you carry when you're trying to control and, you know, make things go a certain, impose your will on the universe and the way things are supposed to go. I'm feeling like, for me, that's just a big lie. That's just the lie we've been told. We've been told to hustle and to grind and to, achieve and to do and to be and to have and all of those things. When, for me, what I'm learning here is allow. All that other stuff is what keeps us in the way, keeps us, away from the answers that we need. I was watching something on TV the other day, and they had two groups of people. One group that were under a tremendous amount of stress, and one group that lived kind of like folks on the island live, right? They just kind of are at a place where they're calibrated and they are doing whatever they're going to do, and just lower amounts of stress. So what they did was they put $20 in the same place on the same street and had people from both of the groups walk down the street. Every single one of the people that were more present and more clear, they got the $20. They saw it. But more than half of the other stressed out group didn't even see it. One person stepped on the money, didn't even see it. So that's what happens, right? That's what happens when we are stressed out. And what I've learned is that stress is a direct line to trying to control something. Stress is a function of a prolonged sense of trying to control an outcome, control a person, control. And I really think that when things happen like a divorce, or when things happen in your life that are huge things that make you stop and think about everything differently, I just think that's the soul's way of saying, okay, now you're going to try it this way, or are you going to continue to put your boat in the river, this, you know, rushing downstream, and you're going to put your boat in the river and paddle like hell upstream? Or do you just want to go with the flow and watch what happens when you allow the current to take you where it needs to go? I cannot tell you how different life feels when I am 110% in the surrender of all the things. By the way, this brother said I could show this video. So just try this week. Try this week to see that thing that keeps you up at night, that thing that makes you, that you're trying to think about, worrying about, all of that worrying and thinking and obsessing is because you can't control it, and you haven't accepted the fact that you can't control it anyway. We don't have control over any of the things. We only have control over ourselves and how we handle or relate to the thing that is doing its thing. So, thinking about all of you who are in situations either at work or wherever where you're just frustrated, or in a relationship where you're just frustrated and trying to figure things out, stop trying to figure it out. Do you. Do what you know to do. Do your best thing. Do whatever you can, because one thing I can tell you is I sleep very well at night because I know I did things to the absolute best of my ability without question. So, and many of you can probably say that, and that should be enough. So, what are you going to let go of this week? Try to find the thing that you've been stressing out the most. I invite you to see what it feels like to surrender and hand that thing over to God, the universe, whatever is your source. Hand it over and see what happens. Just give it 1 week.